Very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to wherever you may be, and welcome to the Sunday DATV Worldwide Net. Pleasure having you guys on frequency. I don't see too many having clocked in just yet, but I'm sure more will come as the time progresses, and the list will get a bit fuller. Now, why is my audio so loud? Sorry about that, guys. Anyway. Yeah, it's been an interesting week, a lot of hard work, and we had a wonderful weekend last weekend. And I did say I'll show some clips and so forth, but which we will do in due course. But in the meantime, let's just also thank the Qatar Satellite Company for allowing us the opportunity to be on their satellite, and also a very profound word of thanks to AMSAT DL for their design and development of the satellite, the QO-100 satellite, both narrow and wideband, and then very ably assisted in many ways, especially after the event, by teaching people how to get onto the satellite, and that's the BATC, British Amateur Television Club, and it's a fantastic organization to belong to. You learn a lot. They've got a lot of information. That's a go-to place if you want to know how to come onto the satellite as a radio amateur. And then, of course, the RSGB and the British Amateur Television Club, as I did mention, and AMSAT UK. So there's a lot of people that have put a lot of work into making this possible for us, and a lot of people are having a lot of fun with it too. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to go through the list, and then I'm going to give a quick synopsis of only part of what we did last weekend. We'll look at the flying down of our new the 407 chopper, and some of the guests I had down there. It was very nice. It was about on Saturday about 2,500 people that attended. It was completely organized by a guy called John Ray Duplessis and Herman Labuskachny. They did a fantastic job getting all this together. It's an old friend of mine that I last saw in 1979, but I did bump into him. He owns a place called Sandstone down in the Orange Free State near Vicksburg. Fantastic site. He's got a beautiful farm. He actually owned Motorola in South Africa and also General Electric. I remember in the 1970s when Wilfred Mole used to import 3 cargo aeroplanes worth of CB sets. It went like a wildfire. But anyway, he's got this beautiful farm, and he's got a railway track on it, 2 steam locomotives, original proper steam locomotives on it, old farming equipment, a host of old motor vehicles and tanks and all sorts of things. And so it's an ideal spot to have had the military fair. But anyway, I'll get better videos I must just get them to send them to me on a better format, and then I'll show you guys next week. Anyway, let's just have a quick see who's on the list. We have myself, hello Benno, and then to Peter, GW. Now Benno's in the Netherlands, and Peter's in Wales, GW7BZY. And hello to Martin, G8KOE, King of England in the UK. And then there's one skipped, and hello to Paul in the Netherlands, Papa Echo 1 Alpha Victor Papa. And, oh, not yet synced. Okay, got you. I'm sure it'll be synced by the time you have your turn. So very good. Now let's just see if I can quickly take the over, and I'll start with the Sandtone afternoon. Let's do. Okay, hopefully there's audio now. Don't yet. I apologize, guys. I apologize, guys. Don't know why I didn't check it. I clicked the wrong thing earlier. So, my goodness, how done. Okay, thanks, Benno, for the tip there. And yeah, that was now a bit of a pity. Ah, damn it. So, what we'll do, I'll run it quicker. I'll start again. Sorry about that, boys. There we go. That's what happens when you don't properly plan the thing. My goodness. Okay, this is one of the chaps I took down with me. He's Lieutenant General Pierre Steyn. He became the head of our Air Force and then was later made the Secretary of Defense, 2 years under Mr. de Klerk and 2 years under Mr. Mandela. Just want to see if I've got audio. Yeah. Okay. So, good friend of mine. I've known him for a number of years. I'll just have to monitor this now, audio, because I think some of these clips won't have. Now, let's see. Let's see. This is the next day, the Friday when we landed. And that's General Steyn, and then General Carlo. He actually took over from General Steyn when General Steyn moved up to become Secretary of Defense. Very, very nice chap indeed, a lovely wife. We had a good time together. And then that is Lieutenant Colonel Harry van Staden. He actually was the head of the rolling military parade with a radio ham. And he was a sergeant major, or is now, or was. And that's ZS4 BS. Dennis Green is also on our board of the South African Radio League as a councillor. Very nice chap indeed. We had good fun that weekend. And then this is ZS4 Papa Victor, Victor Whiskey, sorry, as you were, and Erich. And he was showing me the caravan and the radio station as I put it up. I'd actually phoned a guy called Rian. This is Rian in front, closest to the camera. And I asked him if he would make their club radio station available because they are also part of Hamnet. And they did a wonderful job. They drove down to Sandstone on Thursday and they set up the station and they had a wonderful view of everything that was going on, and they sort of doubled up as our signal station and worked all over the world. Rian worked on QO-100. We have a nice station set up there, including a brand new ICOM 9700, and then of course a satellite station to your right, a DMR station, DMR hotspot, as well as HF and VHF, of course. So it's really well equipped, nice antennas, and they did very well. The public liked it. It was a wonderful advert for amateur radio. There's no doubt about that. That's just another view. In fact, that was Erich doing a contest, and I think he's done very well in that contest, a 40-meter band contest they held on Saturday afternoon. Only an hour long, a short one, so it'll be interesting to see how it went. Certainly hope it went well. Right, that's just another view of the station. And then that's a photograph of our new 407. It's a brand new chopper. And it was a nice trip out to test it and so forth. And that was actually taken by Rian, the guy that you saw in the previous photograph. And that's young Leslie. That was when they were doing a couple of aerobatics with the chopper. And I really thought he was going to not have an easy stomach on it, but fantastic. So that's ZU6IY, and having a great deal of fun in the helicopter. And that's him actually flying home on Sunday. He flew for almost 2 hours. We took off. Of course, he didn't take off and land, and then got his bearings and actually flew instruments quite nicely. And I still teased. I said, well, there's some use for computer games, all the hours he spends on computer games. He really handled that thing very nicely, so much so that General Steyn sat back at the back and he had a snooze. He was very comfortable with little Leslie flying the thing. Anyway, then we had a whole bunch of old aircraft there. As you can see, the old tiger moths, and there's a Bosvark or whatever, Bosbok they call it, South African type plane, and a couple of other planes that were there. There were only 2 choppers. It was a Huey, but we'll look at that a bit later. And what I did was I made a deal with the guys. I said, okay, we'll take you 2 pilots of the Spitfires, I wish it was, of the old Tiger Moths. I said, I'll take you guys for a spin in the chopper, but then you take Leslie for a spin. And they were great game for that. And I tell you, there were queues standing to go into those planes. And they would take the guys for about a 10-minute flip and charge in rand terms about 250 rand, about 120 pounds, I think it is. And it was fantastic. They had lots of people going on these flips. So when that ended, it was just about sunset, and they said to Leslie, come, let's go. And I've got a few clips of that, and he enjoyed it. When he got back, he said he enjoyed this thing. So I took a video and I sent it to his auntie. It's my brother's ex-wife, actually, and she's a teacher, happens to be a teacher teaching Leslie in one of his subjects. And so I said, I did send it to her, and she came back immediately and said, oh, it reminds her many years back when she was younger, she actually went for a flip in Tiger Moth. And so I told Leslie, Auntie Pat went in a Tiger Moth, and without even a split second's thought, he says, oh, was that during First World War? And I laughed, I tell you. I said, I'm going to tell her. No, 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 please don't. Very witty. Anyway, there's a lovely train, as I said earlier, but you didn't hear it, with 2 steam locomotives. And they're doing their rounds. And it's fantastic. This old friend of mine who owns a place, actually, the whole show was put up and organized by 2 very capable youngsters. The one is John Ray Duplessis, and the other chap is Herman Labuskachny, and they did a marvelous job, and they used sandstone. And sandstone is actually a farm that belongs to a friend of mine, which I last saw, would you believe it, in 1979. He came to our office one day on a business transaction thing. We were talking about a business deal, and he became the head of, the owner in South Africa of Motorola and also General Electric. At one stage even was the agent for ICOMS. Not worried about amateur radio, but more military and so forth, and police. But he made a fortune, him and his dad. And he's elderly today, and he decided to retire and put up this fantastic farm. And I tell you, it's something to behold. It's really a lovely attraction, because he's got old vehicles, old farm equipment, tanks, all sorts of, whatever takes his fancy. So it's an ideal place to have had our military fair. Anyway, I don't want to take it too long. Just to give you an example, to whet your appetite for another viewing on the farm itself, some of the older steam trains and locomotives and equipment he's got there. Right, and that's General Steyn and myself. I think that was when we arrived. That's Friday afternoon. And that's him on the way with us going home on Sunday. We came back on Sunday, as you know. And then I think that's back to where we were. Yeah. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to now just give a couple of videos, short videos, and I hope the audio comes through there. Let's go.
First aircraft is coming over now. That's the Havilland Tiger Moth.
Leslie's in the one chopper. He'll be coming over last with the new chopper. He's in there, so it's going to be a bit of fun for him again. He's been in the chopper twice today, so he's having fun. He's having fun. Now there's a parade. There's another one.
Now it's the chipmunk that follows the basic trainer, the little chippy, the Havilland chipmunk from Canada.
And so the different planes will be coming through. And then the very last one will be Leslie and Regan.
See different vehicles from different era. Huey starting up now.
There we go, the big chopper starting, and here's the military vehicles coming.
Here now,
Here's another
our next
plane.
aircraft. The lovely little Oscar. The Oscar that was used as a aerial observation platform. Here now the Saracen. The little Saracen followed by the little Scout. Then there's the Jeep coming over now at the time of the border war, the Cessna 185. Following the Cessna on the ground, the Land Rover in our parade. Here now the Bosbok, how appropriate. The Bosbok flying with the noddy cars, I would call it. I'm just going to see the little Yeland 60 millimeter Yeland.
So they go from old to new, you see. There's a rattle coming up.
Here now is the rattle. You see the German Huey helicopter. There's a German motorcycle. Beautiful formation of vehicles. Here now a tanker. Huey getting airborne.
There's a Huey taking off. And behind the Huey will be Leslie and Ranger.
Here now the gun tractor, that was a 25 pounder. There's a second 25 pounder on a gun tractor.
Now this was a machine developed to go over
This is the
landmines.
Casper. There's an Okapi coming through.
This Huey has got a hell of a beat, eh? It's a massive engine. It's a sea rescue helicopter.
Then now the Huey helicopter.
Another rattle.
Ladies and gentlemen, what you see is a Rattle Service Life Extension Plan program. And this is a renewed Rattle followed by the LM13. Both these vehicles represent the new era of the South African defense industry. And both these vehicles are being designed, developed in South Africa by our own engineers.
There's Leslie coming now.
Like a
407.
407.
So here now you just saw the brand new vehicle there from OTT. Here now is the Bell 407. Brand new helicopter. That's Raven Harold, beautiful. Getting ready for a nice Bunsen forward.
Leslie must be sitting himself.
Is Les ook saam?
Ja, Leslie saam met hom. Dis mos nou lekker vir die laaie. Ek dink hy gaan rooi wees as hy uitklip. Reagan's going to do another.
We'll show you now what
that's not too bad. But what did you think when it was going down?
It's kind of felt like pure gravity.
Is it? So you had a good time?
Yeah.
Ah, that's good.
He went down to that field to first show me what he's going to do.
Okay. Now, so you knew.
Yeah.
But it was very impressive. I've taken videos. So I'll send it to your mom, but I don't want her to have a heart attack.
Yeah, I took a video from the inside.
Did you?
Yeah.
While you were doing all that madness? Yes, like, okay, that'll be good to see.
But when the G's dropped, my phone went a little down.
Ah.
I pulled it back up.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Nicely strapped in and all. That's an experience and a lifetime, eh? To be part of an air show. Oh, good show, boy. Nice work. There's no rattles there. Okay, I think we're going to take off just now.
Yeah.
Just fly carefully now, no?
Yeah.
Mr. Captain.
I will.
Blue sky up ahead, it's like a diamond in the rough. Man on a wire, push him out and tell him good luck. Getting it off my chest, I'm about to explore on the inside. May I make a request? Put your loving on me in the meantime. I wanna be holding you till sundown. I wanna be holding you till sundown. Watch me roll the dice, send it out to the top floor. Feeling on fire, seal it up with the
Okay, that about wraps it up. It's just little synopsises. I had to do it very quickly just before the DATV Net started. I've been too busy doing other things, unfortunately. But I hope it was a bit of fun. And you can see Leslie, he was in the front tiger moth on the left-hand side. So it was a great experience. And we had a lot of fun, and so did all the radio hams that were there. Right, I just want to see now on the list, if I can go over to the list. We've got quite a few, yeah. Paul has arrived. No, we have got no more. So, Benno, would you like to please take it, dear friend? And then we can get you on, and you pass it to Peter, Peter to Martin, and to Paul. I just need to do something else here. I've got to try and get the transmitter to work. Right, so Benno from ZA6YI. From ZA6YI. From ZA6YI.
Well, that was a bit of a problem. Sorry for that. Um, I have some problems with my um, switch off the audio there. I have some problems with my encoders, um, and that is probably due to the reason I have played too much with it last week with all kind of settings, and that is about the part I wanted to talk about. Anyway, nice videos, Gary. Yeah, impressive how that works, and we have more or less seen everything. The pictures itself, good quality, obviously by mobile phones. I always wonder why people trying to video like this, and in the end we are going to view it like this. But that's only one small issue. You gave us a nice impression what you have saw the last weekend, and I can imagine you had a great weekend there. Um, yeah, unfortunately, Netherlands is too small for these kind of things. We if we have one, we never can get everything in there because yeah, we don't have the room, the space, I would say. But again, nice videos and a nice impression what you have showed us, Gary. Okay, what I wanted to talk about is Tezuka, and that's completely something different. But we are uh, using more or less all of us using F5 OEOs, Everest firmware, somewhere on the line, and lately he's working a lot on with Tezuka firmware, um, and yeah, that is great. I was playing with that, and because I got one or two of those, which is uh, more or less a complete Pluto with network connection, called Fishbowl, 100 euros on AliExpress, and that is also part of the Tezuka updates, so you can run Tezuka on that. So I was playing with that, and I played it with it a few times already, um, and I found that you can run SDR perfect on it, um, but I had still some issues, and I wanted to play with DATV Red or DATV Easy on that, and I couldn't get it to work as it is not a Pluto. It is not recognized by a Pluto. It's not recognized with the firmware of Everest on there. So then I started a small discussion, and yeah, it's still not implemented. I understand. So I understand the current Tezuka software is not completely ready. Well, that's always a work in progress, but things like MQTT for DATV Red or DATV Easy is not included in the Tezuka firmware. So that is what I found out after a few hours of playing. And well, the question is now, obviously, we have to wait because it's all done in the free time of Mr. Everest. So I hope he's finds some time during the Christmas holidays, but that's only my own idea. The Tezuka part itself, they are working a lot on to get more bandwidth through. So more bandwidth equals more quality, and that is great, obviously. So that's a good improvement where they're working on. But unfortunately, I well, I don't like the SDR TV too much, as I only need it for transmission at the moment for this part, and I like the previous DATV Red and DATV Easy, which are more or less, well, easier to use. But in the end, I think DATV Easy is also, SDRTV is also doing a great job. And I was playing around with that, but I have still some issues which I have to fault find. And that's probably the reason my encoder didn't work, because he didn't like what I did over the last few weeks or few days. And probably that's why I'm not completely, well, I'm at the moment running, what is this? My reception still says I'm working on H265, but I am actually using an H264 codec. That's interesting. So those kind of things, I don't know what's going on. Anyway, microphone on to the next on the list, which is Peter, doing also a lot of updates. BZY from Papa Alpha 3 Foxtrot Bravo X-Ray. Do I have a test card somewhere along the line? I have.
GW7 BZY, I've just bought me a cup of tea. Oh,
GW7 BZY, I've just bought.
So what have I been doing? I've changed, pardon me, changed my camera for the moment. I sent you some other settings there, Gary. I found that 40 or 50, depending on your graphics card, wouldn't necessarily work very well. Look ahead. So, and there was some suggestion that all the work down to unencoding had no effect. It was the camera that was the basis of all the quality coming from this station. So I've taken my old camera out of the chain for the moment. That's my the old one. Now using a DJI Osmo Pocket 3, and it's not as good, I'd say, though you might disagree. It doesn't look too bad with a bit of fiddling on the settings, because I have a waveform monitor being vMix, so you can use the waveform monitor. I also have a Panasonic GH4 somewhere about the place, if I could find it. I found the charger, but I don't have the micro HDMI lead. But I find that produces red lips and strange, unnatural single chip camera sort of look to it, which this has in less. Well, this is quite a lot more modern. The old camera there is about 14 years old. It looks impressive and it works well, but things have moved on a little bit since then. With those 3 sensors, obviously going to produce the best colour, and no matter how old or new the camera is. I'd say it would be better, generally. But anyway, the obviously problem is the audio. How do I get audio into the Osmo Pocket 3? Well, not very easily. I could. I mean, I'm used to XLR connectors, and everything here is set up for XLR. The camera puts out 48 volts, etc. Oh, I was going to say, Gary, excellent video. Everyone had a great day out, and I think Leslie the bestest of times. Epic indeed. Something to remember. Hopefully there'll be many more of them. But very nice indeed. Something else. Some sound coming from the system. We'll turn that off. Excellent. I don't think we could have that in Wales either. We don't have the room for it. They wouldn't allow it anyway. You know, I mean, nothing here. We get through planning. Certainly wouldn't let you have a train track on your land. God forbid anything like that. And you would have to go 20 miles an hour as well. So I think helicopters, on the other hand, I think you can get away with flying it here. But landing it wouldn't be that easy. I don't think you just land it in Uganda on your bit of land. I think you have to land it at an airport. I could be completely wrong about that. I don't know what it is. Anyway, so what else was going to do? Yes, that's about it really. PBX. I don't know if it's my receive end, but everybody seems to be a bit droppy outy on the video front. The encoding doesn't look right for my receiver anyway. By the way, I'm running 30 frames a second, which is what I've had to do with because I'm going through NVIDIA broadcasters to try and add some noise reduction to the sound. Hopefully the sound is synchronized somewhat. I don't think it's going to be synchronized very much, but hopefully it's not terrible. It's a very strange thing looking at this little camera. It's the one with a little head like a chicken that moves about independently, which is quite cool. It works really well for what it is, but and probably someone's going to tell me now it's a better picture, so I'll hand that round. And who am I handing it to? I think Martin, the King of England. Martin from GW7 Beats of Light with a cut to think, the Fate of Life.
On at the present moment. Maybe he's been called away. So what we will do, Paul, if you will take it, and then we'll give Martin a gap once your over's done. I think that's going to be the best. Papa Echo 1 Alpha Victor Papa, you pass it to Phil, Mike 0 Papa India Tango from ZS6YI, and Phil, we give Martin a gap before I take it to see if he actually comes back. He might have been called off. So please take it away, Paul, from ZS6YI.
Check audio. Yeah, it seems to work. That's really great. So, good morning, good afternoon. Oh, me. Good evening to all of you watching the net. And Gary, thanks for hosting, which you do as usual. Again, that's great. Well, looking outside at the moment, it's the end of the afternoon. It's completely grey. Outside temperature is 6 degrees, and if I watch the clouds, I expect that it will be raining in, let's say, a few minutes or so. So that is the weather situation. Not that much wind. We had a lot of wind during the last days, but that has gone. When the net started, I just came home and I watched the list and saw that only a few people did participate. So I thought, oh, well, let's go up. But I always have to switch on my equipment, including the GPSDO. And it had no sync in the beginning, but it has synced, ladies and gentlemen. So that is good news. Yeah, from my side there's not that much news, but first let's try to comment the transmissions of Gary, Benno and Peter. First of all, Gary, thanks a lot for the wonderful pictures and also the wonderful videos that you showed from the air show. Congratulations on the new chopper, of course. Yeah, that's really wonderful. I did enjoy the legacy planes and also the legacy war green vehicles. Actually, my neighbor, I'm watching at his his garden has a few GMCs, it's called, from the Second World War. So green cars, I see them quite often, and he drives them. Yeah. Benno already made a remark about it, but the available space in South Africa is much, much more than here in our neighborhood and in the Netherlands in general. That's what I saw. To talk about that, you know that there are war tensions in Europe. And that leads to a lot of additional attention, also political attention for setting up the defense system. And in the Netherlands we were searching for training space. That led also to huge political discussions, which now resulted in a decision, and that means that additional areas were allocated for training purposes. So also in my neighborhood, near the North Sea coast, we will face that very soon, I expect. Then Benno, yeah, the fishbowl SDR. Yesterday I was active at AliExpress and saw that the fishbowl SDR could be bought for approximately, what was it, 90 euros, 95 euros, really, really cheap. But due to the fact that, in the past there were some experiences that led to a bricked fishbowl SDR, I did not buy that one yet. But it is good to hear that the Tezuka software also runs on Fishbowl. Actually, I am running the Tezuka software on a Zinc SDR, and I did some experiments quite recently with SDR television. And yeah, I can make only one remark: it works fine. So that's good. I did enjoy that combination, and perhaps later on I make it working also via QO-100. That means I did experiment with it, but it was only at the table here. Peter, the quality of your transmission really is perfect. I can say the video quality is, it's excellent, especially looking at the narrow bandwidth that we are using at the moment. Looking at the wonderful cameras which you own, that cannot be improved. But there is also a but, and the but is that there was a lot of background noise. That's a bit a pity, and sometimes it's difficult for me to understand you. Let's say that is the quality of my English. That sometimes it's difficult for me, Peter. Martin wasn't there. What can I tell? The only thing I worked on that was again on the MG. The engine, to give you some remembrance on what had happened, I did restore the car, including the engine, but there was a huge oil leakage at the rear end seal of the car, and that could not be continued. Well, in the past, all these cars leaked oil, but the amount of oil that poured out of the clutch that was enormous, and I thought that has to be changed. So I took the engine out of the car and did it not on my own, but together with a friend, that sounds easy, but it wasn't easy at all, I can tell you. But, of course, if you start with it, then you also end that job. So the engine is out, including the clutch and the gearbox. That's let's say, a complete unit. We took the gearbox off and did an investigation on the full engine. That means that we went with a camera into the cylinders to watch whether there was something damaged. Of course, we did investigate the rear seal, and I have to admit, I did mount it in the wrong way. So that's what we are changing now. We also made an investigation to the oil pump due to the fact that the oil pressure was always low, a bit too low to my opinion, and also there we found a mistake that we've made. That means that there was a gasket between the cover and the oil pump that should not be there, making a bit too much end play, as a result of which the oil pressure was low. So hopefully that has improved too now. And we did also perform measurements on all the bearings inside the engine, the main bearings, to see whether that still was okay and that is still within specification. So tomorrow it's the intention to continue the job, and hopefully we will be able to bring the engine back to the car later this week. At least that's what I hope. That is the schedule. Furthermore, no news from the Netherlands. I'm watching the chat. No, there is nothing to mention from there. That means that I hand over to Phil, which came to the list. Let's have a look, because I did not see Phil actually, but Gary, you're on the list, Phil. That's good. So I hand over to you, MIT from Papa Echo number 1 Alpha Victor Papa.
Yeah, there we are. There we are. Right. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. I only got back to the UK on Wednesday, late Wednesday. So I've been up to my eyes in getting my life back in order, washing and everything else, getting food, etc. So I haven't really been doing a lot, and I will apologise. Today has been manic again, and I only was able to really see Paul's over, so I can only really comment on Paul. But yeah, so I'm back in the UK, but not for long. I'm going away again in I think about 17th, 18th of August, December, and I won't be back until 28th, 29th of December, so I'm having Christmas away. But yeah, can't really talk about what I've been doing. I'd love to, but not on the airwaves, I'm afraid. But I can comment on what Paul said about an oil leak. We were on sort of a motorway, on a main road, and the oil light came on our vehicle. It stayed on. Luckily enough, we were near a fuel station, very close to it. I don't know how far, quarter of a kilometre, very close to it. And we managed to pull in there, and we put 5 litres of oil into the vehicle. And we carried on our way, and I think we probably got no more than 2 kilometres when the oil light came back on again. And luckily enough, we were virtually right by a cafe, so we pulled into there. But basically, in 2 kilometres, less than 2 kilometres, we lost 5 litres of oil. To cut a long story short, the problem actually was nothing more than, I think it's a stainless steel oil pipe that comes out of the oil cooler, and that had basically fractured, probably due to vibration, right by the flange that connects it to the oil cooler. So that was replaced, oil was replaced, no more problems, but that was yeah, it could have been very different. If he was stuck in the middle of nowhere, yeah, that could have been a real problem, but probably the gods were with us and managed to be close to a fuel station, and a couple of kilometres later by a cafe. Anyhow, so that was that. I haven't really been doing much other than, before I went on my travels, I ordered a new, I ordered another one of these, which I've shown you before. It's a Nuclear 64, and it's a super duper, like an Arduino. My original one, my first one, it came in this nice package, plastic package, and I didn't really have any problems programming it. Once I configured the IDE for this, I had no problems programming it. But the the other one that I'd purchased recently came in a cardboard box, and IDE, the IDE, Arduino IDE software, would not recognise the board at all. So I did a bit of Googling, and it turns out that what came in here is a clone. And because it's a clone, IDE doesn't recognise it. But doing a bit more Googling, I found a way of programming it, which may be of interest to you. What you have to do is to generate a hex file in IDE, which is not that complicated to do. So you generate the hex file, and you have to load that hex file into here. And the way you do it is through a very simple program called ST-Link, and you connect this up to the LPC, and you run ST-Link, and it recognises it straight away. And basically it's just a couple of keystrokes, and it will download the hex file straight into it, and it worked first time without any problem at all. So if you ever encounter a problem with Arduino IDE and it doesn't recognise the board, you might want to look at ST-Link, which is an open source program. So there's a bit of reference for you, you might find it useful. Anyhow, that's enough from me. I don't really have much more to say. I won't come on a second time because I really don't have anything to say. I've got a lot to do. I'll try to listen in the background, but I think that's going to be it for me today. So according to Gary, I should hold back, or Gary should hold back for Martin and see if he's around, and he can jump in. If not, I'm sure Gary will take it over. So I shall bid farewell to you guys. Should be around next weekend. Should be. So hopefully I might be. Yeah, I should be on the satellite next Sunday. Right. Let me find a test card. Which test card shall we have? Oh, shall we have a different test card? I won't put the wobbly one on. But see if I can find another test card. Yeah, test card 2. We'll put that one on. Right then, so it's over to you, Martin. If not, I'm sure that Gary will take over.
Doesn't look like Martin's available, unfortunately. but he did log on, so he must have been called away. Hope it's not a serious problem. And yeah, very interesting on your side there, Benno, with the experiments on the fishbowl, I think you called it. Very interesting indeed. And thanks for that info. And then Peter, yeah, good video. I would say your bigger camera is slightly better, but really a blind man would love to see it. So I think you're okay there, and no problem at all to see a very good picture. But the audio is a bit noisy in the background. I think your fan's up, or your audio volume was a bit high and it picked it up. But nevertheless, still an excellent excellent signal. Yeah, that Benno was a Tezuka, you called it, hey? And then, yeah, Martin, I had to go. Oh, shame. Okay, right, thanks, Martin. But we'll see you next time. Paul, I'm curious to know, you were going to go and have the car tested. Did you ever get it through the test? I wanted to actually send you a WhatsApp to find out what's happened now. Pity on the oil leak. Yeah, the oil seal. You must always have the lip facing the pressure so that when the pressure comes in, it opens the lip as it's pressing. You know the lip I'm talking about. So yeah, that's a mistake that can happen. But always go from wherever the pressure's coming from. That's where you have your seals open port. So the oil does that, you see, and then it seals nicely. Anyway, I'm sure you won't make that mistake again. And then, yeah, the gasket. Yeah, I wonder why that reduced the pressure. That's funny. But I have a problem on my rolls. It's not a problem really, but it's very high. The pressure is very high, even though I've got new oil filter in, just very high. So I don't know how they've calibrated their gauge, but I believe many people have the same issue. So yeah, but it's high. I sometimes wonder if the gauge isn't faulty, or alternatively, if the filter's not blocked. But I think if the filter's blocked, I won't get pressure in where I need it. Anyway, and then what else was there, Paul, you were going to comment on, man? Yeah, I see you playing around with a new. You were the guy with the fishbowl, so it's interesting. I haven't looked at that at all. I just have had no time, but we'll have a look. And Phil, yeah, excellent. Sorry to hear about the oil, but I'm glad you got it sorted. You were indeed very, very lucky. But a gallon, 5 liters is almost a gallon in a couple of kilometers. My goodness, that's quite a loss. But pleased to see you got that sorted. I hope your next journey out of the country is not going to be so bad, and that you successfully completed. Yeah, I got a message from Ed, Papa Yankee 2 Radio November. He he said he got a bit fearful in the helicopter with Leslie next to the pilot doing the aerobatics. At one stage, I couldn't get a proper focus on the thing. It's just the normal cell phone camera, so it was okay. But they were professional guys, and I'll get some videos from them and more of the actual entertainment there. But it was good fun all the same. Hams had a great time. They did a great job. And many people visited the store or the site or the caravan, and they learned a lot, asked a lot of questions. And I think it was good public relations exercise, no doubt. Right, we'll have a quick whip around, and then we'll close the net. So, Benno, if you are ready, Papa Alpha 3 Fox Bravo X-ray to take it, please, from ZA6YI.
Great. No audio. My headset was empty and I forgot to switch on my other microphone. So my headset was empty, so it's on the charger. That's the biggest benefit of a wireless headset. Ja, ik ben bezig. Kom zo, ja? So anyway, now I'm completely off my part. Anyway, the Tezuka part, yeah, like I said, that's the current development of Everest, which works on Libre, even on the Pluto Plus, and also on a device called Fishbowl. I don't know why it's called Fishbowl, but actually if you connect it, it tells you it's a fishbowl. In the end, it has a processor and the analog devices chip we need to get a signal onto the satellite or on any other frequency. So yeah, I think there are several other devices already available. So in the end, that will make it more easier to get on the QO-100 or on SDR transceivers, and for that you can, well, there are more developments. I actually understand that the normal Pluto is not even an option anymore, as the sales are completely out. Apparently DigiKey and Mouser is not selling them anymore, and so there is not an option, and people are still looking for solutions. And so I told already a few of them this one with the Tezuka software, and apparently that works flawlessly with SDR TV and SDR console, but not the other ones yet. And I think, I surely hope it's yet, that there will be a solution to run this also from and if anyone knows already a solution, please tell. That's basically it. Anyway, thanks all. Have a great week. I won't. I'm not sure if I will be on next week because there are some things going on in the weekend. But on the end of the day, well, we'll see. 73 all. Passing it on to you, Paul. To you, Peter. And yeah, audio was a little bit too much noise, no noise cancelling in the background. Yeah, I don't know why you are. Well, I'm always using a microphone which is dedicated to the my video program. And I can use from one screen scene to another scene. I can use the same audio if I turn it on, at least. I don't catch my audio with my camera, and yes, my camera is very small. It's El Cheapo from Ali. I don't have the room in my shack to a house that big of cameras you are using, Peter. But I can imagine the quality is much better. And if you put in something bad, it will never get any better after that. I can understand and relate to that, Peter. Okay, 73s from Papa Alpha 3 Foxtrot Bravo X-Ray, passing it back to you, Peter.
DW7BZY. Hopefully you can hear me now. DW7BZY. Hopefully you can hear me now. Sounds a bit slurry digital. And that's the noise reduction full blast and the anti-echo full blast. So I've got nowhere to plug in the microphone. Yeah, I've got a mixer somewhere that I can plug into the USB on the computer. But I'll just get it out again. So light it up. We've got a battery on the back as well. Come on in a moment. There we go. It's all happening. That's a nice on-the-shoulder camera. Circa 2012, 2014, something like that. The lens is probably a great deal older. I should imagine that's about 14 years old. That's a standard resolution lens. It's a bit warm. It's a bit blurry when you zoom in. It's a very wide angle lens, but it's good enough. Good enough is good enough. I could spend more, a grand and a half and get a second-hand HD lens that would fit and be a bit better. But I don't think that there will be return for the investment. Rubbish in, rubbish out, isn't it? There's another word for it, but be polite company here. And you're correct. But I'm using an Osmo 3. It's a little pocket cam, the little one with the which isn't rubbish, definitely, and it certainly does a very nice job. I have to fettle it a little bit because the image coming out is not. It's not 701, is it? Or 709, 701, I think it's. Definitely, you have to the gamma, adjust the gamma, etc. But anyway, regardless, I mean, I don't know what you've done there, Benno, but your pictures encoding is terrible to me. It's all grey mess on my screen. I don't know what device you're using for sending the image. If it's DATV Red, I have the ultimate in the second or third ultimate in code. That goes into the NVIDIA, and of course you've got to put it on the hardware encoding. If you don't have an NVIDIA graphics card, then the software that I've created is not going to work well with this string of command string. I don't think it was created with the help of AI, but also with the hindrance of AI, because I tried 3 AIs. I don't know what the multiple of AIs, the plural of AIs are, but they all had something different. And you couldn't follow them all, and they all contradicted each other in certain ways, in minor details, and it takes a while to learn, but what are all the actual effects of the things that we're doing to make it better rather than worse, and because you can stick it all together and it looks great, and then you see it from your test stream, especially on DATV, it looks fantastic, and then you go to transmit and you find that it's starting to stutter and all sorts. So there are some vagaries in it that we've overcoming, but I think I've got it all together now. I think all my AI accomplices have agreed that it's okay, pretty much, and the conflicts they have are understood by me and ignored, basically. But there we are. Excellent stuff. Running out of oil. That is terrible. The oil light of doom is definitely something you don't want to see on the dash, isn't it? And usually it's too late. So you're really, really, I think it's been said more than once, really, really, really lucky to get away with it and not with putting new engine in it or new bearings or whatever, especially with the NG, because I don't know how they were reliability-wise when they were new. So it's good that it's still going. I don't know whether you'll ever get it past an MOT, because I don't think the brakes and things ever would ever pass any modern MOT. I expect the drums or rods, and that's not good. I wouldn't pass any MOT in this country, I don't suppose. But things are going down a slippery slope with cars, aren't they? They're getting more and more complicated. Our government has decided to add 3p for the electric car per mile. Not that I have an electric car, and I don't have a plug-in, thankfully. I nearly bought a plug-in. Nearly bought the new Prius. Really nice car. Really like the look of it. Didn't want to pay the the luxury car tax on it if you've got the one you want. But now they're charging 1.5 pence per mile for them. So luckily we've got a People's Government, a Labour Party that's going to look after the working man. But you are much richer if you don't want to work and sit at home and have babies. Never mind, that's political. Anyway, with that, I'm not coming on again. I don't suppose you've got a duty. I hope my parent handing it round to King of England. Is there anything else I want to say? I like the goldfish ball there. I'd be interested to hear more about that as you progress. Whether or not you can get it working with DATV Red would be an interesting thing. That would be something. I like DATV Red, and I like the ability to adjust the colour and the encoder settings. So I'm sure you could do that via FFmpeg with the others as well. And of course, add a little bit of noise reduction, and I'm now using NVIDIA Broadcaster for the audio. Hopefully you can hear me. I'm not looking to see whether or not you can actually hear me. Maybe there's people complaining. Anyway, because noise is a killer of data. I think the broadcast camera has less noise, and that's the critical factor. If you've got a noisy little webcam, then that noise is eating data. Even if you can't see it, it's just robbing it. It's like having rubbish going along the bottom of your screen, that ticker tape stuff. That's just nonsense for encoding, and it's similar to noise in that respect. It eats your data. There's very little return. If you want to put something on the screen, put a static text on the screen and change it periodically. Reduce far less data and leave much more for your image. There we are. This is what I've learned from fiddling with the encoder for a couple of weeks, and learned about Bash, which I believe is a what's that other one to Windows? Linux type software. There we are. So I might get a Linux PC one day. I'm thinking I'll change my PC anyway. I'm going to get a new PC. So I think I've seen one with the latest Intel graphics and maybe a 5070 graphics card. Because the NVIDIA broadcaster says my graphics card isn't up to the studio voice widgets, so that I can't have that. So with that, on that bombshell, as it were, I shall not buy a motorcycle, which I went to the NEC for. That was great. I did look at a BSA Bantam 350. The wife tells me I can't have one, so I'm going to use that leverage to get myself a new PC, which should be a little bit cheaper, not much, but a bit. With that, I'm going to cut to a test card and say good afternoon to everybody, and thanks to Gary for hosting the net from GW7BZY.
Audio test again. Yeah, it works. Well, perfect. Okay, what to comment? First of all, Phil, you told that you were just back in the UK, but you didn't tell where you went. And I'm a guy that always wants to know everything, something like that. So, where have you been? No, it's not my deal. Okay, yeah, you were telling the story about oil on your vehicle, Phil, and well, just as Peter said, you were lucky. Unbelievable, because normally if you lose all the oil from the engine, I don't have to tell what happens. So yeah, great that you were able to repair it with the oil pipe and the oil cooler. But yeah, the question is, of course, did you damage the engine long term? That still is something to be learned. And of course, you did contribute to environmental pollution. Oh dear, you lost about 10 liters in total, and that's quite a lot. Gary, you raised a question. Did you get your car through the test? Yes, I was able to come through the test, Gary. I was there in the beginning of November. I was there again at the MOT in Amsterdam, and I stayed there only 2 minutes. They did perform the test, and I came through, and that was done. But now they're starting an administrative part to get the license plate for the car. And that still is not successful, so it might be that I have to come on the air again to get that administrative part done. Okay, then you were raising the question about the gasket on the oil pump. Yeah, it's all old equipment, but basically 2 gears are running in 2 chambers in the oil pump, and there is a metal top on these gears, and the pressure is built up in between. That's how it works. And there was a gasket of a very thin paper gasket in between that should not be there. But due to the fact that the oil was able to run freely on top of the gears, it meant that the oil pressure was low. So basically that was, it was a failure, an assembly failure basically that we made. That I made. I I did cause this. Yeah, can happen, eh? I'm just an amateur, not only a radio amateur, but also a mechanical amateur. Benno, initially you had no audio, but later on we could hear the comments coming from the stairs, from downstairs. That was interesting. And indeed, the normal Pluto is out. In China you can still buy clones, Pluto clones. I've got no idea whether the quality of these Plutos is good. But the official ones, they are out. And Peter, again, the video quality is excellent, at least that's how I look at it. The background noise was away, but the audio stays difficult for me, Peter. Let's say the audio color was rather dark, and there's also no sync between video and audio, so the total picture, for me, it stays difficult to understand you sometimes. You showed the Sony cam. You said it's just good enough, but I think we are all jealous on what you showed. We would like to own one. Fishbowl and DATV Red, I cannot comment. I simply do not know. But you made a statement which indeed is interesting, and I have to confirm it, that noise from the camera takes a lot of data in the encoder. That is absolutely true. So that is something to be remembered. Well, that's it. Thanks a lot for this net this afternoon. I did enjoy it. And hopefully we will meet soon again. No promises from my side that I will be here every week, but once in a while I will show my face. Camera goes to Phil if he still is there, and if not, then the microphone goes back to Gary. Thanks a lot, and have a nice week.
Otherwise occupied? Oh, well, I'm very pleased to hear you got the car through the test. That's good news. Indeed there, Paul. I was wondering. It's been many times that you've been there. I suppose they recognize the work you've done, and it's all well. Luckily you didn't have an oil leak then, eh? So you were lucky as well. considering oil leaks. Anyway, with that, I'm going to close the net. Wish everyone a very happy week. Hopefully we see you next week, same time and on same frequency. Also want to say hi to the Vaal Triangle Radio Club, VTB. They are actually streaming this, I believe. And hello to Peter and who all is on that link. And hi to Ashley. Yeah, so there we go. With that, 7-3 all. We had 48 viewers, 9 concurrent. Very good. Not bad for a Sunday afternoon. This is ZS6YI, bidding everyone on frequency a very happy week and 7-3.